are you doing on Saturday?
It's fall and spooky season, and no one does it better than Sleepy Hollow. The village was made famous by Washington Irving's tale of Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. The village has so many Halloween activities, jack-o'-lanterns, creepy cemeteries, and so much more. They're celebrating their 150th anniversary, so you know they're going all out. If you're new to the channel, my name is John. I cover everything travel related. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for future adventures. Now let's go explore Sleepy Hollow. The Sleepy Hollow Cemetery is massive. It is adjacent to the Old Dutch Church and is 90 acres filled with many different gravestones and gravesites and mausoleums. Since the Hudson Valley was second home to many prominent American figures, you can find members of the Carnegie and Rockefeller families, so there's lots to see. Now, we recommend grabbing a map. That way you can navigate through the cemetery, but also be aware that it closes at 4:30. Washington Irving is one of the founders of early American literature, and he's famous for his short stories of Rip Van Winkle and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And of course, since we're in Sleepy Hollow, the town even renamed itself after his famous short story, and he's buried right here in the cemetery. The easiest way to see Washington's grave is to find the Old Dutch Church, walk along the path, make the first left, and you can see the enclosure. Obviously, you're not allowed in the enclosure, but you can take wonderful pictures. The cemetery was established in 1849 as Tarrytown Cemetery, and obviously the locals renamed it to Sleepy Hollow Cemetery to honor their local celebrity. And I have to say, as I'm walking through the cemetery, I feel like I'm in a real-life horror movie or story tale. It just is phenomenal to come here, especially during fall season. Now, we're touring the place by foot and obviously being respectful of the grave sites, but if you're adventurous, you can book a daytime tour, and during the fall season, you can book a nighttime lantern tour. Now, take a note from us. Book in advance, because those tickets sell out really fast. One of the biggest moments in the legend of Sleepy Hollow is when the Headless Horseman is chasing Ichabod Crane, and he retreats to a wooden bridge which he thought was safe. If you read the story, you know otherwise. Now, the original bridge that inspired Washington Irving has long since swept away. Now, the Rockefellers were kind enough to rebuild the bridge, which you can see a plaque at the beginning of the cemetery. But as you walk along the river, there's a nice wooden bridge that's very picturesque, and it's called the Headless Horseman Bridge. So if you want a good photo and also see what inspired Washington Irving, this is a good replica. Right next to Sleepy Hollow Cemetery is the Old Dutch Church. With 2.5 acres, it's filled with different grave sites, and it was built in 1697. And it still has an active parish, which makes it one of the oldest in the United States. During the spooky season, the church is open. There are volunteers to answer any questions. In fact, we bumped into an individual associated with the church, and he answered a couple questions and pointed out that there is over 70 Revolutionary War veterans buried here. So you can see them with the American flags, but there are members from every war buried here as well. Welcome to the Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze. There's nothing like seeing a carved pumpkin during the spooky season. So let's go see what this event has to offer. The Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze runs from mid-September to mid-November. Very popular event and gets you in the spooky season. Over 7,000 pumpkins, hand-carved, done by over 1,000 volunteers. I mean, the artwork behind this, as well as the lights, are just absolutely stunning. You do have to buy an advance ticket, time ticket, unless you get a flex option ticket, which is available online. You can come any night, but we definitely recommend booking in advance, as it does sell out real quickly. This exhibit showcases the Hudson Valley and the Hudson River with all the wildlife and nature. What I really love, though, is the jellyfish with all the different colors. I mean, that's something I never even would have thought to do with a pumpkin. Going from the Hudson Valley to the tulip farms in Holland, They have everything here. Well, actually, this is a tribute to New York's dedication to wind power, but I like to think that we've transported to another country. These Celtic knots pay homage to the Irish roots of the modern jack-o'-lantern. You might be wondering, well, what exactly does that mean? Well, in Irish folklore, there was a legend of Stingy Jack who could never get in heaven or hell, so he would make these designs on a turnip and light it with a candle. So it's really cool that they pay homage to the original roots of the jack-o'-lantern. We are now entering the modern art part of the trail, and all these pieces are inspired by MoMA, which makes sense since close to New York. But let's see what they have to offer. It may be inspired by artwork in MoMA, but here we call it MOPA, Museum of Pumpkin Art. In honor of their 20th anniversary, they made a giant pumpkin cake, and that is the best way to celebrate. Of course, the best way to celebrate a birthday after you get your cake is to go to the carnival. And what's really cool is they have animatronic along with their pieces here, so it feels really interactive. Halfway through the path, you can come to the Gourd Goblet, which you have to purchase with your ticket. And they have a savory snack and a light beverage, and it's a great way to just relax and enjoy everything. And since it's the first year they're doing it, we're gonna see how it is. What comes with the ticket is a light beverage, pumpkin empanadas, and a cheddar mix. So we're eager to dig in as we're pretty hungry. It's a great way to relax in the middle of the trail. The Great Jack-o'-lantern blaze is located at the Van Cortlandt Manor. And of course the house is lit up with music and it's all choreographed. And they have a tribute of a graveyard of the family members, which is really cool. When you come to the Hudson Valley, of course, the Headless Horseman and the legend of Sleepy Hollow have to be honored. And there's no better tribute than the Headless Horseman Bridge. And we saw the Headless Horseman in Ichabod earlier, so maybe we can get Ichabod to the bridge and it'll be safe. Our experience at the Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze was amazing. It may seem a little expensive, but parking is free and every dollar I think is worth it. My personal favorite was the Manor, as well as the Headless Horseman Bridge. And the Gourd Goblet is a great add-on. It's a nice snack and a drink to just kick back and relax. But overall, if you're in the Hudson Valley, it's a must-do. Good morning. We're at the farmer's market in Tarrytown looking to grab a cup of coffee and a sweet treat. Of course, we brought Poppy. That way she can enjoy some fresh air. But today is all about exploring Sleepy Hollow, and they're celebrating their 150th anniversary. I'm talking about a time capsule, parade, block party, and Joey Chestnut. So we cannot wait for the festivities to begin. This market is so great. We acquired our coffee, which is half gone, so you know it's definitely delicious. Also, we got some egg sandwiches, some toffee and trail mix for snacks later. I mean, the bread and the bagels look delicious, so we're definitely gonna have to grab some more things. But in the meantime, let's dig in. It's a spot. The market goes until November, and it's a great way to spend a Saturday, especially on a beautiful day. It's located in Patriots Park, right near the main street of Tarrytown, and they have free parking across the street at the elementary school. So it's very accessible and very convenient. And we got the bagels, and it's a must-do when you're in New York. Well, here's our haul. And you may be wondering, wow, what is all that? Canned cocktails, cookie, pasta, bagels. We really love this market. The Philipsburg Manor is close to the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, Old Dutch Church, and the Headless Horseman statue. And it is a living history museum. You can come see. It includes a manor and a grist mill from the 1750s. You can buy tickets online. They have a lot of Halloween activities, which is fun to get into the spooky season. Also, fun fact, the person that built the old Dutch church is the same person that built the manor and mill. You can reserve tickets online. And of course, during the Halloween season, they have some spooky activities. Added bonus, free parking. Philipsburg Manor is part of the Revolutionary War Heritage Trail, and what makes this place so unique is that it recounts all the stories and tales from the enslaved people that lived and worked on here. Beekman is the center of the block party, but it's also the heart of the downtown scene. There's so many different restaurants and shops to see. We hopped into Sleepy Coffee too, which not only makes a delicious coffee, but they employed differently abled persons, which makes it very unique. This is a great way to kick off our experience before the parade and the block party start. So let's enjoy a nice iced coffee. The parade just wrapped up, so you know what that means? Let's get our block party on. One of the big highlights from the parade is the Big Nazo, which is an arts production company, and they look fantastic. It's like a space alien and space puppet. Really cool. Hey, girl. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
What were you doing on Saturday? Right, look at a picture.
Oh my goodness, they are a lively bunch. Holy moly, post-parade, the block party has just begun and it is crazy, lots of crowds. So hang on to your kids, and if you're in a group, find a spot where you can all meet. There are plenty of vendors, food, and lots of drinks. So we're gonna explore, and of course, check out the Headless Horseman. Since it is the 150th anniversary, they are going big. They are creating a time capsule, which they are asking local residents to bring items that represent daily life in Sleepy Hollow. And then on the 175th anniversary, they'll open it up. Everyone gets into Washington Irving's classic tale, and even the fire company is all decked out for Sleepy Hollow.
Three, two, one, go! Here we go. Joey's off to an excellent start.
We finished our block party experience and it went out with a big bang. I mean, all the music, food, and vendors are fantastic, but Joey Chestnut in the food competition was probably the biggest highlight. And of course, he dominated like always. We came down by the river at Horns Landing, which has a lovely Riverwalk, and you can see the Como Bridge, but there's one site in particular that we want to see. The Tarrytown Lighthouse in Sleepy Hollow was in operation from 1883 to 1965, and it's no longer in operation because the new Como Bridge, which lights the way for ships. And you may be wondering, John, that lighthouse seems really close to the shoreline. Well, it is, but back in the day, it was a half a mile away from the shoreline, and due to landfill from the GM factory, it's a lot closer. And since it was the 150th anniversary, they restored this lighthouse, and it's very beautiful. Unfortunately, it's closed to tours right now, but they anticipate it reopening real soon. But it's a great way and very accessible from the Riverwalk that you can come here, enjoy the river, and take a beautiful photo of the lighthouse. Of course, we got our nice coffee, and since it's fall season, gotta go with a pumpkin flavor. When you come to Sleepy Hollow, you have to take the half-mile trek to Tarrytown. The historic main street is filled with boutiques, restaurants, and bars. Today they have a Hispanic Heritage Festival, so there's tons of activities and things to do. You can easily spend an hour to 2 hours just exploring the main street. One of the historic homes that is a must-see is Irving's Sunnyside cottage. He acquired it in 1835 for the price of $1,800. I think that's quite a bargain since you get a beautiful view of the river. Of course, you can take some tours. Tickets are required in advance if you're looking to do that. But during the Halloween season, they really embrace Sleepy Hollow. They have fun crafts, scavenger hunts, freaky photos for the kids, so very kid-friendly and definitely something we recommend to do. As we explore Sunnyside's gardens, we got to talk about Lyndhurst. 67 acres, has a historic museum, and it's known for its Gothic architecture. Now, if you're not interested in doing a tour or seeing the museum, you can just pay a nominal fee to explore the grounds, so there's something for everyone to see. Behind me is a bronze sculpture of Ichabod Crane galloping to safety to the church and the bridge, and hot in pursuit is a Headless Horseman. This lovely bronze sculpture is right across the street from Philipsburg Manor and right by the Old Dutch Church on Route 9. So it's definitely a must-do for a photo op. I have to say, Sleepy Hollow does Halloween really well. They have so many activities, hay rides, ghost tours, Halloween Village, and so much more. Now, since it's 150th anniversary, they also have some special activities, which we'll put the link below that you can view the calendar and see what's going on. Now, outside of the town itself, my personal favorite was the Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze. That's really fun as well and super kid-friendly too. That wraps up our whole tour of everything. And like I said before, you can't go wrong with anything that you choose to do in Sleepy Hollow. But until next time, keep on exploring.